And I'm Layla Muhammad. Yeah, this first story we're talking about today really concerns me because you're talking about someone who had too much protein.
Yeah, you
But
would think.
There's a condition.
Yeah,
right,
there's another side to that story.
But you would think if you're that active, you're not necessarily paying attention to, all right, what are these ailments that I could potentially be dealing with, because you're so focused on, all right, I'm working out, I think I'm eating well, I feel at least decent, so you probably don't expect.
No, and she was, I think it was an extreme athlete, bodybuilding, getting ready for a competition, so you cut out a lot of the stuff you're used to eating, and then you up the protein, and sometimes your body can just not be prepared for it.
Yeah,
So
let's bring the
People are
viewers
wondering,
into that exact story. It's time for Fixated. Today's story we have an absolute fixation about. This morning's Fixated comes to us from dose.com.
Yeah, and continuing the conversation, a 25-year-old Australian woman and mother of two died after consuming too much protein. An Australian newspaper says the death of Megan Hefford was preparing to compete in a bodybuilding competition. It resulted from a rare genetic disorder, which meant that her body just could not break down protein properly. Now, this, coupled with the fact that she was on a very high protein diet of egg whites, protein shakes, and protein supplements, ultimately is what led to her death.
And Dr. Myers-Hurt is joining us now to weigh in on this discussion. The first question is, you know, she appears so healthy. I mean, she's getting ready for this competition. How does this happen to someone like her?
Yes, ma'am. And so I think you hit the nail on the head with she did indeed appear very young, very fit, very healthy. And even though she had a rare genetic disorder that they weren't able to find for a few days, according to this story, oftentimes there are simple blood tests that we can do to check the health of the kidneys and the liver, just to see how well the human body can process these things. And so my gut feeling is that if she had had one of these kind of routine blood work tests, they might have been able to catch something like that earlier.
Yeah, this disorder in particular, I guess it keeps nitrogen in the bloodstream. Talk about how that affects the body.
Well, specifically, I think that I would like to have more information about the supplements that she was on. And so this individual, what ended up happening was her body wasn't able to process the protein and essentially get rid of it appropriately. And so she built up ammonia in her bloodstream and held onto a lot of fluid and essentially just kind of died of fluid overdose and fluid overload, rather, and some ammonia poisoning.
Yeah. So for folks who have focused on some of these, you know, high protein diets, less carbs, less sugar, should we be concerned? I'm one of those people. I've had moments where I am heavy on the protein and trying to eliminate some of the other bad stuff, because for me, I need protein to sort of fuel me when I'm in the gym working out. Should I have a concern this morning?
I think that you should have at least a set of mindfulness. And so if you're someone that goes to the physician regularly, you know how healthy your kidneys are, you know how healthy your liver is, you've got routine follow-up, and you're listening to health professionals that you trust, I think the vast majority of us are in the clear. That being said, I do think that it's a very, very dangerous situation where, I mean, supplements are a multi-billion-dollar, $100 billion industry, and information comes from a lot of different sources. And so unless you're having a conversation with, again, a health professional that you trust, as opposed to anecdotal information or some marketing material or some pamphlets that you see in a gym or a health or wellness office, it really is worth your time and effort to sit down and have an informed discussion about what exactly you're putting into your body and if your body can handle it.
That's a great point you touched on, Dr. Hurt. I mean, I'm not a supplement person, but a lot of folks are. What should people be looking for in these supplements to know that they're making a wise decision, in addition to talking with their physician?
I would definitely talk with your physician. A lot of us have certain certifications in integrative and holistic care, functional medicine, and it's a very, very specialized area of medicine that not too many people can focus on. That being said, a lot of even just generalists and internists, family medicine, pediatricians, gynecologists, we can all check some of this basic blood work. But essentially do your homework as well. And so there are plenty of information online that you can really look at the research and development of certain supplements, who's using it and why, and look a little bit 2 or 3 layers beyond what's actually being marketed to you. A lot of times it is unfortunately an area where you get what you pay for, and some of the more expensive supplements are indeed some of the best.
All right, Dr. Myers-Hurt, thanks for weighing in this morning on Morning Dose. Right now,